What is the Jewish people's story? How can they tell it and how have they told it for the past 5,000 years? We start with belief in God. Oh, Shani, first of all, do you think faith in God is necessary to be religious?
I don't know if it's necessary to being religious, because I think that someone could be religious just because they really love the religion and because of for sake of tradition. But I think that it would make it a lot more meaningful if you believe in God.
So do you believe in God?
Yeah.
Or do you believe in, because I interviewed someone and they said that they believe in something, not necessarily God, but
I don't believe in an all-powerful, all-knowing, all-good God, but I believe that God could be
he could
love.
be those things.
No, not those things, but
Alright.
but I don't know, maybe God is love or your conscience, or because I don't think it's possible for God to
So something
he
personal.
can't.
Something personal to you.
Yeah.
What is our role in carrying out the narrative and keeping it alive? How can you keep the narrative alive besides passing it down? The narrative of the Jewish people, your narrative, my narrative. How can you keep it alive?
You can keep it alive by talking about it, by explaining it, by experiencing your, your narrative, by believing in it, and by practicing it in some way, because I practice my religion, so that if you want to keep the religion going, then you gotta practice it and believe in it.
So our role in carrying on the narrative is practicing it, altering it. You know how we.
Yeah, we will alter it somewhat, but.
Because I know you probably grew up more religious than I did. Because I know your dad was a rabbi.
No, my
well,
father.
not a rabbi, but he went to temple.
Well, my father was more religious. His father was more religious than my father, and
so now we're more moderately.
So we're more modern and more moderate, of course.
It's not bad.
So it's things change with time. But you got to be careful that if you change it, not to change it too much, nothing remains of it.
As Jews, are we expected to believe in all myths or challenge them? Understanding of it. Do you think myths are necessary for the narrative to stay alive?
Can you clarify?
So,
is it like Kabbalah speaking, or
well, I mean,
Torah?
or you could think of it as a community coming together and making sense of something.
Well, I think that's necessary for any idea to stay
narrative?
alive. Any idea, any narrative, anything really to stay alive, because conversation, community, it all contributes to our well-being and our belief system.
And you said earlier you don't believe in everything that happened, and you don't hold every fact about our Jewish narrative to be true. So do you think that you should believe in God and have a definite belief in God, or do you believe that it is important to have a faith in something, or just don't have faith in anything and just go on with the morals?
I do think that all of them are valid opinions, but I think that so far in my life I've taken the side of believing in something, not knowing exactly what it was, but very much attempting to follow the morals, because we all make mistakes.
What is stronger and more important, belief in God or expression of affirmation? Do you think a belief in God is necessary, or is it just you can still follow the narrative, follow certain aspects and morals of the narrative, and still be a strong member of the Jewish community?
I think it's what's more meaningful for you. I don't know if there's one answer. If someone believes in God and expressing their belief doesn't uplift them or whatever, then that works for them. But let's say they're not 1,000,000% sure if they believe in God, but it brings them a lot of meaning to express the prayer and all of that, then I think.
If our knowledge is limited, how do we know anything?
How do we know anything? I believe that we have learned everything from the Torah, because the Torah is a spoke story, a very possibly real story, to display to us the lessons that we're supposed to learn in life.
How necessary are myths for the Jewish narratives to stay alive? Do you think they're necessary for the narratives in general, the narrative of Jewish people to stay alive, or do we just say these myths and they're just, nonsense?
No, I think that myths are what a religion is built on, especially when a religion is being formed. I guess myths are part of the foundation of the religion, and that's why the word belief comes in. Otherwise, you would know that God actually split the Red Sea and the children of Israel went through. Maybe he did, maybe he didn't, or maybe it was just a story about the redemption of the people, of their savior from being slaves.
Why do we alter our rituals? Why do you think that when we're at the Persian Seders, it's a tradition that they have where they whip each other and it's not?
I mean, to me, to me, the idea is that we're all having a Seder, whether one community like Persians are hitting each other with onions and some people do different things. I don't think it matters. What matters is that over the last 2,000 years, when Jews have been in exile, Jews in Poland and in Yemen and in Persia and in England or whatever you want to do, without fax machines or internet, all of them on the same night every year for thousands of years got together and celebrated the Seder. So these little communal
An example of a ritual.
Rituals that people developed in different kinds of the world. I mean, this is nice. People want to have ritual that identifies them as a small community, but I think overall the fact was that all the Jews sang Dayenu, and all of them did it in the same night every year for thousands of years, while being dispersed all over the place. I think that this is what counts, and this is what shows you that the religion does have strengths, and that it will prevail for thousands of years, hopefully beyond us.
What do our rituals and Jewish rituals reveal about faith? And what do they reveal to you?
I don't know. So a lot behind rituals are values. So
Morals, you mean?
yeah, like for Shabbat, maybe like a day of rest. Like a value behind that is take time to reflect and appreciate. So behind rituals, I think are.
So behind the rituals we do, there's deeper meaning that we relate and reflect.
Yeah,
with our
like even
lives.
keeping kosher, it's because you don't want to mix life and death. Like there's values behind rituals.
And how does this all relate to you? There's a Jewish history, Jewish story narrative. There's a narrative about your mom, about your dad, about everyone. Now, how does this relate to Zach Ben Ezra's narrative? You know what I'm saying? How
Yeah,
does this
that's
relate
a
to your
great
life?
question actually. So I've always been very active in the Jewish community, no matter what my
You mean your Nifty
beliefs
youth
are,
group?
such as Nifty, such as camp staff,
And you're the
Jewish
president of that group.
president of the youth group. Yes. Also, simply my involvement in the school of Milken, because the fact that I go there obviously means that I would like to keep the religion alive and see it prosper.
That's good. Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you. Pleasure to me.
Pleasure to see you. Alright, thank you. And so, the Jewish narratives live on, and we continue to follow our Jewish heritage and modernize what we need in order to feel comfortable in our religion.